What's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. Is silver about to outshine gold? I've talked about this for years, that silver will eventually take on a life of its own, regardless of what gold is doing, regardless of stock market volatility, even regardless of what the dollar is doing. And that's because silver has purpose much farther than gold does, which is mainly used for jewelry, coins, and bars. It's a monetary metal. Basically just sits around and doesn't do much. A little bit of gold is used in technology. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones myself. But gold is mainly just a monetary metal, where silver's also an industrial metal, along with a monetary metal. I call silver the best of both worlds. But listen, we all know that anything pegged to the dollar is going down with it. That's like switching seats from the Titanic. The dollar is inevitably going to collapse. It's lost 98% of its original purchasing power. 98% is a factual, literal percentage, not 97%, not 99%. It's 98%. I'm not just making up that percentage. We're also $30 trillion in debt, and things are only going to get worse faster and faster. The dollar's lost 44% of its original purchasing power in the last 20 years. It's like a domino effect. And guess what? It's never going to turn around. We're never going to fix this problem. There is no solution. There's only an alternative, which is precious metals. There is no solution. We're trying to dig ourselves out of a hole with no ladder. The hole is getting deeper. It's like, you know what this is like? It's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card. We're trying to get ourselves out of debt by replacing it with more debt. That does not work, and it will catch up to you. Regardless, though, that's just a little bit of what's going on. Now, there is a reason why my name is Silver Slayer and not Gold Slayer, and I'm sure there's a reason why you buy silver. I'm not trying to say gold isn't a great investment. It also is. Gold has a lot of benefits, well, not a lot. Gold has some benefits that silver doesn't. You can fit $100,000 worth of gold in a shoebox. You can't do that with silver. So if you're a big time player, then gold is definitely something you're going to have to diversify into. Plus, I mean, gold is great. You know, it's still precious metals. It has intrinsical value. It still represents real wealth, money, and I don't see any problem. I just see more opportunity, more potential with silver, which I hope this article does mention as well. I highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel. I'm waiting for the prizes. We hit 60,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful. You guys have been beyond supportive lately. Fastest my channel's ever been growing. I can't thank you all enough. I know that we missed the show yesterday, Andy Sheckman and I. He's out of town currently. Yesterday, I couldn't, because it's supposed to be a Wednesday show every Wednesday. And you guys loved it last week. It has like 45, 50,000 views, just, that episode alone. But yesterday I had power, my power was out, and by the time it turned back on, it was too late. And today Andy Sheckman's out of town because he's probably the busiest guy in the world. He's an international superstar nowadays, as Wall Street Silver called him, since he's been talking about the BRICS nations, the stuff he mentioned on my last episode or last week's show, which I highly recommend you watch. Everyone's starting to pick up on this. Robert Kiyosaki, the author, the famous celebrity author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, had him on the show. Andy's traveling anywhere, or everywhere at least. And by the way, if you want to build a relationship with him purchasing, you can. Just send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let him know Silver Slayer sent you. He'll be happy to hear it. He can fill any order. I know actually one of you out there made a very, very large purchase the other day under my name, which it just shows that, bigger and bigger people are taking notice. I mean, how many videos I've made of billionaires purchasing silver, not gold, silver. So I do think that people are starting to hold it, not sell it. They're holding on to it. And also the big players, the whales, are getting in as well, cleaning out the markets even faster. So you better get in now while it's still cheap. Anyways, let's jump into this. Is silver about to outshine gold? As always, the link to this article will be in the description. Let's talk silver. With the Fed about to announce its next interest rate change, it's a good time to check out the condition of gold. I mean, after all, gold is a tried and true safe haven asset which has historically been used as a hedge during times of uncertainty to protect against inflation and stock market volatility. Gold is also sensitive to interest rates and trend in the US dollar. And I think even more so than silver. And that's because precious metals are a direct threat to the dollar. Everything the dollar stands for, precious metals is the exact opposite. That's why they'll try to downplay, precious metals. Anyone who's, big business, mainstream, Wall Street, they're going to try to downplay precious metals. They're going to tell you to invest in this stock or whatever, yada, yada. And when the topic of precious metals comes up, they're going to say, oh, gold has been doing this for the last decade or whatever. Silver's average price for the last 10 years has been $15, but yada yada. But they're not going to talk about any of the real problems that's going on with the dollar, especially. They're just going to talk about precious metals, when in reality, gold and silver holds its value. But beyond all that, gold only benefits when things are going bad. Only when things are going bad. Silver benefits when things are going bad and good, since it's also an industrial metal. When the economy picks back up, industrial uses, silver still flourishes. It's a win-win, best of both worlds. When analyzing the trend or a trade in gold, it's a good idea to also look at silver, because trends in these precious metals tend to be more reliable when they are in sync. But I don't think it will be in sync forever, because when silver takes off in this new digital technological era we're advancing in, gold's not going to. Gold isn't used in solar panels. Gold isn't used in 5G towers. Gold isn't used in electric vehicles. Gold isn't going to be booming at the rate, nowhere near the rate silver is. Remember, gold is mainly used for jewelry and necklaces and coins and bars. Silver's silver's biggest bang is the industrial use of why we need so much of it, and there's not much of it left. Gold is not going to benefit there. That's when silver is going to take on a life of its own. But remember, precious metals both gold and silver are still very good investments. Maybe even platinum, palladium, and copper. Do you guys invest in any of those other ones? Let me know in the comment section below. Currently, gold and silver have very different chart patterns, but they may be ready to move in the same direction. However, there are a few fundamental and technical reasons silver may be setting up as a better post-Fed meeting trade. One of the important fundamental differences between gold and silver is what drives demand. Almost all gold that has been mined this day is still here. I'm so glad they brought this up. I was actually about to say this a second ago. The gold that gets dug up out of the ground stays in circulation for centuries. Because it's used for coins and jewelry, it gets melted down and gets sold, ended up at another pawn shop or another refiner. It gets melted down into more coins and jewelry. Especially since gold is so much more expensive and valuable, people are willing to go scrap gold necklaces and stuff out of their jewelry or out of the jewelry drawer. Nobody's scrapping a silver necklace that's $2.50. Plus, since silver is mainly used for the industrial sector, it's thrown away in a couple decades. So that ounce of gold that gets dug up out of the ground stays in circulation for centuries, 100 years. That ounce of silver that gets dug up out of the ground is thrown away in a couple decades. So even though the gold to silver ratio coming out of the Earth's crust is 8-to-1, it's actually much lower than that when you incorporate the lifespan of those 2 ounces. So when you're looking at it that way, especially regarding the amount of silver we're going to need moving forwards, who can tell me that silver's plentiful out there? Not even talking about the LBMA COMEX vaults being emptied and all that. Just that alone. As a result, gold and silver can react differently to economic forces like interest rates, inflation, and growth expectations. More importantly for trading, there are compelling technical reasons why silver may outshine gold in the coming weeks and months. For example, silver's developing a potentially bullish consolidation pattern above the 50-day moving average. Gold, on the other hand, is sitting at multi-year lows. And this is actually, I called this out in 2020 when gold broke past $2,000, the highest price gold ever has been, still till today. Silver was not even half of its all-time high. So I was comparing it to a volcano, two volcanoes. One volcano's gold, the other volcano's silver. Gold, when it broke past $2,000, the volcano erupted, shot its top off. But remember, when it does that, the volcano kind of it chills. Silver's volcano hasn't erupted. It's still building up more magma, so the explosion's going to be even bigger. Silver always does follow gold. Sometimes it lags, though, and the longer it lags, the more opportunity it gives for all these other reasons. Silver also has potential to explode, so it's going to be astronomical. The stars are aligning. The perfect storm is here. Are you ready? You better be. Silver has also rallied from its recent low, which had a bullish divergence on both the 200, 50, and 50-10 real motion indicators, as illustrated by the black arrows comparing swing lows in the chart below. I'm not going to go over the charts too much. If you want to go into that technical analysis stuff, I do post a link in the descriptions. But anyways, finally, there is a bullish oversold condition in gold. Its price and RM have recently closed below the lower Bollinger Band, as illustrated by red arrows in the chart below. Anyways, they say that if silver and gold both break higher, such momentum could create a bullish trading opportunity in both. However, silver looks better positioned for an easier ride higher. And I mean, of course, silver is gold on steroids. Everything gold does, silver does times two. Not times two. I was saying, if gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%. On the other hand, if gold's going to drop 10%, silver's going to drop 15%. Just like steroids, steroids do have negative side effects. So people will call silver riskier, the devil's metal. It's kind of contradicting to call a safe haven investment risky. Though that doesn't even make sense. You can't call silver risky because it's not risky. You're putting fake money into real money. The only risk is keeping your money in fiat, which is inevitably going to collapse. You can't call silver risky. That just makes no sense. It might be riskier than gold, but then given the circumstances and the information, silver has a lot more opportunity and makes a lot more sense than gold. So how is it even that? It just seems like a lot of people that say this stuff don't really do their homework, or at least they do the homework, they might not be getting the answers correct, or they have some type of biased opinion pushing something else beyond precious metals. And that's the scariest part, because then they will give misleading information, tweaking words, just basically playing the game to their degree for their own reasoning, which is extremely dangerous, because if someone finds that article that guy writes before they find a video like mine, they're going to have a whole completely irrelevant and picture of what precious metal stands for, and they'll probably go to something else like stocks that's going to collapse with the dollar, like I said earlier. Anyways, though, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said, go subscribe. If you like this video, then please like the video. I didn't ask you to like the video in the beginning because you don't even know if you're going to like the video yet. But at least now you've seen it, so please like the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe. Comment down below what you liked about the video. Do you also invest into gold, silver, or gold, platinum, palladium, copper? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Stay tuned. A lot of stuff coming soon. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. If you do want to buy silver or gold, I got you guys. Just send an email to info@mousefranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. Andy Scheckman will match any price you could find anywhere else. You literally cannot find anywhere cheaper, because if you find somewhere cheaper, send him the link to it or a screenshot, and he will match that price. So you will always get the lowest prices with him, the best customer service. He's never, ever in 45 years got a negative complaint. Never. And that he's very proud about that. I am too, to never have a negative complaint in that long. speaks for itself. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.